Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you another update. Lots of progress on this 1977 Ford F100 truck. In an earlier video we shared with you where we're starting to do the mock-up to lower the suspension. Our client wants to have it as low as we can possibly go, I guess they'd say. And we had the truck bed on here. So basically we've done a lot of work on it. And I want to share with you the stance and what it looks like, because in the other one we're just kind of doing the mock-up. So now we have the camera person come closer, and then we'll kind of pan out and show you how low it is, because it's very, very low to the ground right now. So this is kind of in its lowest position, or if he's going to a car show, it's basically is where it's going to be in its park mode. So basically what we've done is we have the 4-link suspension. So the 4-link is set up. We have our brackets. You see there's a little bit of surface rust and stuff, but this is all going to be sandblasted and epoxied and gloss black paint later. But this is just the mock-up stage. So what we've done is we have our 4-link set up. You can see we've got our brackets on the inside. So we've set up our brackets for the 4-link, and they're really heavy-duty brackets. The camera person, it's probably easier with the video. On the passenger side here, we've got this outer bracket. So this is part of the kit. It's a generic kit, and then basically we modified and cut it to fit our application. So you can see we have, like I shared with you, the bracket on the inside, and they're nice heavy-duty brackets. We have this really nice heavy-duty bracket on the outside of the frame, which is the lower perch for the front section of that lower 4-link. So we have those brackets kind of welded in place, and then we have the, if the angle come this way, you can see we also have these brackets. So now we've got everything kind of mocked up for the 4-link. So we have our upper and obviously our lower with all of our brackets. And then our airbag suspension. So we've got this really super heavy duty bracket, and then we have our lower bracket and our airbag. So hopefully the camera can kind of pick that out. So we've just tacked this all in, because what we're doing is we're doing the full mock-up on it. Once we have it all mocked up, we want to make sure we get the right stance. And then we're going to probably box in the frame. We've done our own basic cutout of the C-channel of the frame, and it looks kind of barbaric right now. You can see for spacing, we just have this big nut sitting in here. That's just for spacing purposes only, and then this is going to be cleaned up, this notching, because to give us the extra height, we obviously don't want to have the frame in the way, but we also don't want it to be weak, because this is going to have a Coyote fuel-injected motor in it. So with the stance now, the way we have the 4-link set up, upper and lower, and the airbags, then we've also done the shocks, and that's something that they were working on today, is we have a specific shock for this purpose. With the airbag, we did some calculations for distance. So we've got our brackets welded in upper and lower, and we have our new shock set in, and you can see from that angle we have our new airbag, and it's in the collapse mode, and you can see we have our fittings here on the top. So it's coming along really, really well, and I don't have a measuring tape with me here, but you can see the overall stance is considerably lower than it was before. So the cab and the front end of the truck we haven't modified at all, because a lot of guys try and get it even lower, and they'll cheat and they'll try to notch into the body and bring it down closer. The cab mounts and the front clip is exactly like 77 Ford. Now I'm not an overly tall guy, I'm only I think 5'11", but you can see I'm standing normally beside it, and the roof line is basically in my chest area. So for a 2-wheel drive 77 Ford truck, for this stance parked with the airbags collapsed, this is a really nice stance. So then I think the camera can pick it up. So if we kind of come down on the angle, because the other thing that we've done in the earlier video, we share with you this front with the stock beam in the front. Basically the wheel was really kind of crooked and not much tread touching the ground and contact. So we've removed the front beams, the factory beams, and we put the aftermarket beams in. We found a supplier, and it's a 3-inch spindle drop. So now we have, and we'll do another video later to share with you with the new beams. So they're installed now, because before this front end was sitting up higher because it was restricted by the beams. It wasn't lowering enough. So now we've got the airbag in the front on both sides. We have these stock beams are removed, and then we have the aftermarket beams installed now, and at the spindle base they're 3 inches lower. So once again, this is in park mode. This is a 77 Ford F100 truck, 2-wheel drive. The engine's still in the vehicle. So once again, when I stand here, I'm basically, the top of the hood is even with my belt. So this is considerably lower than you could ever imagine for this style of truck. So this is kind of what we're after. Our client wants to have the truck as low as possible, and he didn't want to cut into the inner fenders and make it sloppy looking underneath. So we haven't cut anything out in terms of the inner fenders. So you can see this is still stock, okay? So we haven't done any modifications at all, so it's not like you can see the tires or see anything's changed or cut open and then you have a wide open wheel. So right now this is exactly bone stock, and you can see how low the stance is right now. And I don't know, I think the camera can probably pick it up. Yeah, so you can see, it's probably going to be too dark, but you can see this is the new beam, the 3-inch drop. You can see the bracket here and then the collapsed airbag with the new frame section tacked onto the frame. So you can see the overall stance and the way the tire is in contact with the ground. This is a wonderful setup. So that's the 3-inch lowered beam setup with the airbags collapsed. So a brief update. So what we'll do now is we'll set the truck bed back on. We'll do another video to show you the overall stance with the bed. And then our next video we'll probably put up on the hoist, and then we'll share with you what the front looks like with all of those mods. So this is the 77 Ford F100 truck. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.